The following program is a PodcastOne.com production.
From Hollywood, California, by way of the Broken Skull Ranch, this is the Steve Austin Show.
Give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Now, here's Steve Austin.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Steve Austin Show. I'm sitting here in a parking garage in my Yukon Denali XL. I got monster truck driver extraordinaire Brandon Vinson sitting shotgun with me. He's the driver of one of the Gravedigger monster trucks. We're out here in Palm Desert, California for the annual or biannual Kawasaki Dealers Convention. They just introduced the Kawasaki Teryx KRX 1000. It was absolutely awesome. And I came out here to check the vehicle out because I'm a brand ambassador for Kawasaki Motorsports. And I see this big-ass monster truck over there. And I'm like, man, what are they doing with that monster truck? I had it all wrapped up and everything. And so, seeing the driver, went over to introduce myself to him. Hell, Brandon, we're sitting here in the damn Yukon in a parking lot. I have podcasted from many damn places, from my camper and all kinds of different things. We've been driving around here about 15 minutes trying to find a place with a little bit of silence and a little bit of sound control. So I'm sure you probably rolled your eyes a few times, but you got some stories to tell just because of all the shenanigans. We can't get away from the noise.
That's it, man. I'm going to have a couple stories to tell about being on this podcast here, man, just trying to find a place to park, be quiet, and I don't think anybody's going to believe me.
Nobody believes this podcast anyway. Hey, man, I go way back with monster trucks, and when I saw that thing out in the parking lot, I said, man, I got to go talk to this guy, find out what the motor is and all the suspension. Way back in the day, in about 98 and 99, when I had a neck injury, got my neck fused up, C3 and 4, so I was on the shelf. Yeah. So what I was doing, I was, because I was sidelined, I'd make the rounds down there in South Texas. Monster truck stuff is real big down there in South Texas, over in East Texas. And I'd go and I'd drive the truck, not competitively like you do, but I just kind of make an appearance. And I'd sign autographs and stuff like that. But I've always had a love for everything that's four-wheel drive with a big-ass motor, lots of horsepower, stuff like that. So anyway, we had the Austin 316 truck.
Yep, I remember.
And way back in, do you remember the episode when I crushed the rocks, Lincoln Continental?
I remember it. I was a kid then, but I've always been a fan of you. I've always watched wrestling, and I grew up watching that. I grew up watching you, and I remember watching that episode on TV, and I thought that was pretty cool how we met out here in the desert. I had this monster truck out here for Kawasaki on display, and then, they said you were going to be here. So it's been pretty surreal, man. It's been pretty cool, and I can say that, I don't know, it's awesome.
And I'm not as big a jerk as people make me out to be. Put me over here a little bit, bro. I'm kidding. Hey, but so anyway, let's go back to that night because they showed up and Calvin Carrington was the original owner of that truck. And, a few years down the road, he would end up being killed at a monster truck event in a freak accident. Super nice guy. So anyway, we get that pickup truck, and I'm learning how to drive this thing on the spot. And we're on live TV, brother.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden, because you drive one, back in, they were a little bit cavemanish. They don't handle like they do today. And this thing was between 1,500 and 1,800 horsepower. And they say, hey, man, you're going to crush the Rock's car on TV tonight.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. Who's going to show me how to drive this thing? So anyway, we crushed that damn car. And a lot of people think, the show I just did, Straight Up Steve Austin, in a tank, we crushed some cars that were just salvage cars.
Okay.
This was a brand new Lincoln Continental off the showroom floor. That's how much Vince was committed to this thing.
Yeah.
And so I crushed it, totaled it, right?
It looked brand new.
It was, and that was a total shoot. So when you was watching way back in the day, and you're just a kid that likes wrestling, did you ever think, hey, that's what I want to do, turn into a monster truck driver?
No, back then, you can always dream, but that wasn't one of my dreams, at that early an age. I was wanting to be a wrestler. I was watching it. I was doing that stuff. So, we had a trampoline growing up as kids, and I would wrestle every day. It didn't matter what it was. We had the little wrestling buddies. We would just have a ball doing that. So, 20 years later, here I am doing the monster truck thing and watching you do that on TV with the monster trucks and that stuff. It's crazy to think like this brought us out here together to do this. It's been something that I'll never forget. For sure.
Hey, I want to ask you about how you got into. Okay, so what were your aspirations? You said you might have wanted to be a wrestler, but that's a long shot, just like mine was. I ended up making it. Hell, being a monster truck driver is a long shot, and you weren't thinking about being that. So, what were you thinking about doing with your life?
So I had a background of doing heavy equipment. Like I run excavators, I do bulldozers. I still do it to this day. It's a passion of mine to do that. Yeah. When I'm not on the road doing stuff, I help a buddy of mine out. And I was just, before I flew in here the day before, I was clearing an acre of land and spreading sand out. They're getting ready to put some houses in the ground. So that's what I was doing before I came out here. So that's a passion of mine. I still love to do that.
Man, it's fun working on equipment like that. And, we used to do a lot of shredding and stuff like that. And I used a little bit of bucket work. I used to drive a forklift for a living before I got in business pro wrestling. Okay. So I never got a chance to operate a lot of stuff that you did. But, man, a lot of that stuff, especially if you're looking to, maintain or grade something, looking at it, just looking at something, looking at drain or looking at what's level and what ain't.
Yeah.
You got a pretty good eye for that?
Yeah, you got to be, you got to have an eye for it. Nowadays, they got GPS and all this stuff. But if you're a real operator, you can put it on grade. To a point, you can rough it in and make it look pretty good by eye. So I've always had a little knack for that, and that goes hand in hand with the monster truck too. It's almost the same thing. You're doing 4 things at one time. You're pulling joysticks, we're turning the steering wheel, hitting rear steer, gas and brake, and it's just something that I've always had the niche for. It comes natural to me with a excavating and with the monster jam. So.
When a lot of people, when they think of monster truck, they immediately think of Bigfoot or they immediately think of Gravedigger. Yes. Those are 2 institutions. And so now I think you and I were talking yesterday. I believe the Gravedigger franchise, I guess that's what you'd call it. Yes. Aren't you guys running like 54 trucks worldwide?
Yeah, worldwide, 54 trucks. The Feld family owns these trucks, and it's called Monster Jam, so it's grown so much. And we actually run 7 Gravedigger trucks at one time on tour. We'll go on tour from January to May, and there's 7 tours every weekend going on. So there'll be a Gravedigger truck at every show headlining. It's just grown so much. We're going overseas. They were just in Australia this weekend, getting ready to go to Japan, Saudi Arabia. It's just
way back in the day, they asked me if I wanted to go to Aruba, and they said they're going to ship the trucks over there in Little Bitty Island. Yeah. You've probably been. Well, I decided not to go just because it was too far. But, man, those things are worldwide. And with a franchise like Gravedigger, and if they've got all those trucks and running 7 simultaneously, it's kind of like back when our business was on fire. We had an A, a B, and a C crew. I mean, we was hitting, bigger towns, medium towns, and smaller towns. Yeah. With respect to how you guys run, where's headquarters?
So the headquarters now is in Palmetto, Florida, right outside of Tampa. Yep. We also have a shop where I'm based out of. It's in North Carolina. That's like the OG Gravedigger shop. Dennis Anderson, that's his property. We have that Gravedigger shop there, and, he created Gravedigger 38 years ago. It's a legacy. Everybody knows, you see that green chassis, you see the paint scheme, and then red headlights come on. Business is about to happen. So that's the only truck in Monster Jam that is still hand painted. It's like over 40 hours of hand paint. It's a 1950 Chevy panel truck, and it's just something that everybody loves and everybody knows. You can just say the name and they know what it's about.
Oh, absolutely, dude. And it's just so iconic. Just the look, the feel, the vibe, everything about it. It kind of reminds me a little bit like of The Undertaker in our world. That I come from, pro wrestling. Gravedigger is that, that larger than life that's just iconic, that captures your attention and your imagination. And always because of the premier driving and probably the money that they have to put it into the truck. They've got the wallet to keep coming and up in the ante, because, man, trucks have changed a lot from back in the old days when I was driving them and at personal appearances to what you guys are driving now. Here's my question for you. Okay. How did you get to be a part of the Gravedigger franchise and then turn into a driver? Because I think you said you started at the bottom and worked your way into a driver spot. Tell me how that works.
So the way I got in was I started off wrenching on the trucks. I was a mechanic. I was a crew chief for Ryan Anderson, which is Dennis's middle son.
Okay, well, stop right there. Where'd you get your mechanical background? Are you just a natural born mechanic,
just
or did
naturally
you go to school?
Working on stuff. I did like a shop in school, in high school. But
we had ag mechanics. I just didn't gravitate toward it. Yeah.
Yeah, I never got to go to college. I went to work.
No, it was in high school.
So,
We had
yeah.
ag mechanic, but yeah,
So I went,
So, but you're a natural wrench head?
Yeah, I was wrenching on cars, trucks. I got lifted trucks now. I got old square bodies. We still play on the beach. I mean, I got a 1990 square body right now on 40-inch tires on 10 inches of lift. So I ride it all the time, taking my kids to school. They love it. So
what's the motor in that truck?
It's just got a 350 in it, but I got all 1-ton running gear, 456 Detroit lockers in it. And it's, it makes up for not having a big motor in it, but it's reliable. I can fire it up. I can leave for 6 months, come home, and that thing will fire right up and go. So
you got to send me a picture of that for the podcast. Okay, so I didn't mean to cut you off. We're back to how you got into the Gravedigger stuff.
Yeah, so I was wrenching mechanic. We were on the road 4 or 5 months out of the year. Come home for a couple weeks, go right back out. So you know the life. It's a grueling process, but when you're young, it's fun. You take it for what it is, and you get to go travel the world and do that stuff. So I did that for 9 years, and I really wanted to drive. I had an opportunity to drive. We used to test in North Carolina, new drivers, and do some things there before they moved it to Paxton, Illinois. But they kind of snuck me in without anybody knowing. So that's how I really first got into a seat. They said, all right, we're going to take a couple crew chiefs. We're going to let you guys drive. Everybody's itching to just see if anybody could do it. The guys were like, because we were working our fingers to the bone, 80, 90 hours a week. And you just start getting over it. So you get a little burst of 1,500 horsepower, it brings a whole new light to everything. You're ready to go back to work. You're good. You're ready to go again. So, they snuck me in. And then, I had Adam Anderson, which I grew up with. We're really good friends. That's Dennis's oldest son. I said, look, man, you come out here. I said, whether I suck or whether I'm good, I said, I just want to hear it from you. You know what I mean? We've been friends a long time. So, he's like, cool. Helped me get in the truck. I strapped in first time. He's on the radio, and I take off. And then from there, I kind of blew everybody away. They were telling me that I was better than the people that had out there training. So instantly, I was like, cool. I didn't brag about it or nothing. I was just kind of trying to take it all in, that I really had, a niche for it and did a good job in front of all of my peers, everybody that's working there. So that's how I got started in it. And then I pulled teeth, knocked on doors, did everything I could to try to get a test spot and a legitimate one. It just seemed like it wasn't happening. I was just kind of getting a little depressed about it, really wanting to do this job. Really,
but the itch to drive was there.
The itch was there. I had that part of it. They didn't think that I had everything else, because a lot of it, we do 80% PR, 20% driving. So it's all that. So I wasn't really that good on a microphone. I was good in the truck. So you kind of got to have the best of both worlds. So started working on that, and just every time I'd see somebody ask, hey, let me get a test spot. Let me test. Come on, I can do it. I said, just believe in me. It takes one person to believe in you. And finally it happened 4 years later. So I've been out on the road now, this will be my third season out on the road. And I was hungry. I went out. I wanted to prove everybody wrong that doubted me.
Yeah,
told me I couldn't do it.
Yes, sir.
You wanted, and I did. I went out and I won a series championship last year, Central Championship. I won it by over 100 points. We do a point system on tour. I went to the World Finals, which is our biggest show of the year. And we did it in Orlando, Florida for the first time. And I competed in 5 out of the 7 events there. There was only one other person to do that, and me and Tyler Meninga, we were the two to be able to do that.
So, man, you got to pay your dues to come up the ranks and just get a spot.
Just to get a spot, and it almost didn't happen for me.
So then, what happens when you get the spot? How much training is it? I mean, and what are they doing, man? Are you guys just out on a course or out on the property, and guys are showing you what's up or how to do this?
Yeah. Have you heard of Tom Mentz? He does Maximum Instruction, Max D.
Yep.
Okay, so he runs the test facility. It's called Monster Jam University. They didn't have that back then. It's something kind of new, 5 years maybe. So they bring new drivers in. They got a stadium course out in the cornfield, it's in Illinois, and then they got an arena track for what we do. So you go out there and you test. You kind of brush up on stuff, but you're not out there. I went out there 2 times for 3 days apiece, and then the rest of your practice stuff. You're doing it live. You're doing it in the show. So.
That's on the job training.
On the job training. In some of these arenas, which are when we build a track inside, 85 foot wide.
Yeah.
So you take a 12,000 pound Monster Jam truck, 12 foot wide, 66 inch tires. You got to be on your A game, or you're going to tear something up. And they have a saying like, we're not allowed to do building damage. That's a no for the buildings that we go in. So,
man, when I was used to doing some of those things down there in Beaumont, there's a little bitty outdoor stadium. I had rodeos there, and like the arena was so small. They'd bring in a bunch of dirt, to set up. And of course, it wasn't near as elaborate as what you guys have to work with. But I mean, the space was so confined. I mean, you had to be, damn good to an expert just to not hit anything, much less perform.
Yes.
Are y'all, when Monster Jam is the Mac Daddy?
Yes.
So when you guys are out, is it like big arenas only, or are y'all doing anything small?
We do everything. So the smallest would be like a inside dasher hockey arena.
Okay.
So it's 85 wide, and then it gets bigger from there. It just depends on the building that you're in. We do 157 arenas. And we probably do 20 to 25 stadiums, I think it is. But we do way more arenas than we do the major stadiums. So, and we come back every year. So you got to go in there with the mentality of, if you get a good driver inside of a small building, you can put on a show no matter what.
Right.
So that's the thing. That's the key, is really knowing how to drive the truck inside the area you're in to put on the show to make the fans come back.
Hey man, you got any trademark things? Because I mean, like, I used to follow it way back in the day, and now I'm watching. What guys are doing. What's the backwards? What's that? 360? What would you call it?
Yeah, well, they're doing backflips. They're doing a lot. The biggest thing going on right now in Monster Jam is a 2-wheel skill challenge.
Yeah,
everything on 2 wheels. So.
Everything, a lot of that stuff on the back, and guys just skip down or just hop down or just drive down, whatever it is, and then all of a sudden they'll get up on the front too.
Yeah, the front is the big deal now. The front and bicycle and the truck, all.
Now, did that all come about just because of all the improvements in suspension and stuff like that, or just, hey man, they figured out maybe they were almost going to endo on something and they ended up riding it out, so say, hey, this could be a thing. Yeah. How did that evolve?
They started building these tracks. They call them pods, and it's something new that they designed. There's 4 hits on each side, corner hits, where you jump in instead of jumping out towards the crowd, and then they had jumps in the middle. So this pod came about. Maybe I want to say 5 years ago. And they did, a show. I want to say it was Cleveland, Ohio, Ryan Anderson, son of a digger, went out, jumped and pretty much, cradled the truck and it popped it up on the nose.
Yep.
Well, he was the first one to do it, but he was also the first one to throw it in reverse and drive it backwards on 2 wheels. And that became, that move, became the moonwalk.
Oh.
So then it blew up, and it was a big deal. So now you got everybody trying it, burning transmissions up left and right. Because you're shifting. When you're up like that on the nose, you're shifting reverse back to first. And we got 2-speed power glides. So you're skipping right by second and neutral, hitting reverse, dragging it back, hitting first, just to keep it balanced.
God dang, that sounds like rough on a tranny.
It is. Yeah. So... if you do it right, you can make it last. It's all about having the finesse to do it. So, but yeah, it is for a lot of people. They'll be up in the RPMs 3,000-4,000 and shifting, and it just kills them. So,
hey, let me ask you something about like back in the day, man. They'd have the cars out there and they'd crush them or they'd jump them and they'd use them as everything that they would. But they'd have that straight line competition. But then this is back in the day, and I got to get up to speed. And I got your phone number, and I'm coming to see you at Monster Jam when you guys come to Anaheim or wherever it's going to be.
Yep.
Staples, whatever it is. But my question is, they used to then have like a freestyle type thing where it was kind of like, hey man, you go out there and do your own thing. And it's kind of like crowd response.
Yes.
Or like, how do they determine the winner these days?
Okay.
A point system or crowd response? I mean, they'd do your yay boo like we used to do in wrestling sometimes back in the day.
It's fan judging now.
Right.
So
it's all subjective, right?
Yeah. So they got this new system where you actually got a app on your phone when you go in. Yeah, that's a 2-wheel deal that I did, just to show you, back and forth how it goes. So I'm getting ready to, that's a 5 foot tall, and a ramp that's cut. So I walked it down.
Okay, what we're doing, we're watching a video on Brandon's iPhone. He's on Brandon Vinson GD.
Yes, Brandon Vinson GD.
Brandon Vinson GD is his IG account, Instagram, and he just put it on 2 wheels. He's backing it backwards and forwards and dancing that thing. Dude, you talk about balance. That artwork, that is just an insane paint job.
Yeah, it's intense.
Now, what is that? Just light fiberglass? Because you'd think it'd be destroyed right now.
Yeah, you'll see how it just crumbled right there. So, yeah, it's a fiberglass hood, fiberglass body. 3 people can put it on, take it off. So, actually, the hood's separate. It's a whole piece. The side, it has 2 sides and a roof, and we bolt them together and then throw it on. So the cage is matched to the body, so it fits tight.
Okay, when you guys go into a show, and you guys are probably on a semi 18-wheeler or what?
Yeah, triple drop, Kentucky trailers.
Okay, now y'all taking 1 rig or 2 rigs? I mean, what you got for backup in case something goes wrong? Because, man, as you know, anything can go wrong.
Yeah, so we don't have a backup. This is our backup. That truck is my race truck. I have it all year, all season. And we have a part and a piece for everything in the truck.
Now, how many guys are running with you as far as crew?
We'll have 3 per trailer, so that's 2 trucks. We travel with 2 trucks. We'll have a Gravedigger truck, and I might be teamed up with a zombie truck or El Toro Loco. So
now, are those under the Gravedigger name, or is that
they're
Monster Jam?
They're a Monster Jam. They're a failed truck. Yeah, there's quite a few trucks. There's a Megalodon truck. There's a lot of stuff that's being created that failed has put out there, and people love it. The kids love it, and it's just not Gravedigger anymore. You know, it's a lot of trucks. You know, you're coming to see Gravedigger, you come to see El Toro Loco, you come to see Megalodon, Max D, and your zombie truck was a fan chosen truck that they did, and that thing, I want to say there's 4 drivers now for that.
Hey man, so tell me about you guys getting along. Like it's like a lot of camaraderie. Obviously, when you go out there, it's competition, but you guys are grinding up and down the road, all around the world. How you guys coexist? Because most of the guys, like from my business or the one I was in, professional wrestling, you're doing the same thing. It's kind of a brotherhood. But, a couple of guys always kind of, out there. But for the most part, we're kind of a circle. Like, how you guys work at it?
It's good, yeah. It's a brotherhood. But you know as well as I do, when you're on the road that long, everybody starts hating each other for a little while.
You're right about that.
It gets crazy. You don't want to be around nobody. So, but when something happens, say a truck breaks or we go out there, we're racing, that's when it all comes together. That's when everybody works together, put these trucks together or put on the show. We all know when we're going out there to perform.
Yeah.
So drop attitudes. We're going out there to please the crowd. We're going to do what we got to do. But it's intense when we're racing for points like that. Like, I'm legitimately like, no, I'm going to whip you. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're not winning. And it's legit. Like, we get mad and we fight about it. But at the end of the day, it might take a day or 2 to calm down, but everybody's good at it.
Hey, what do you feel after a good run? Because like when we come out of the ring, and we always talk about it all the time, and you get an adrenaline rush, and I can only imagine because I've been in a few monster trucks and been able to just really hit the gas, and it's just nothing but, man, I feel. I guess that truck I was driving back in the day was methanol alcohol.
Yep.
Would that be
That's
correct?
what we're using now.
Holy smokes, man. One day, I told this story a million times, but after I ran over the rocks car, I was in that holding area, and we went to commercial break, and all the curtains were drawn. And I was in there for literally about 2 minutes. It was a little bitty small room, but just the curtains opened up into the arena, and I drove that truck out to the arena. But during the holding area, dude, those fumes were just coming in the truck. My eyes were watering. I could barely breathe. I was like, man, I can't hang on much longer. My eyes are killing me, brother.
It'll make you gag and everything.
Finally, they gave me the green light, and I went out there. And, we had a big, long red carpet all the way to the ring. And the ring was probably about, 60, 80 yards away. And, man, on the way to ring, we were outlaw back in, brother.
I remember watching it, yeah.
Dude, that thing was locked in 4-wheel drive. I mean, and boy, I gassed it. And that thing went, man. And it just yanked a carpet out, and that camera guy was standing on carpet and just went down. And, of course, I just pulled up. And now I crushed a bunch of other stuff. But my question to you after rambling, because this is the BS session and we're having fun, what do you feel when you get through crushing it out there and you have a good run? You pumped? I mean, that took you a while to come down. What is it?
It's pumped, man. It's electrifying. When you can take a 12,000-pound Monster Jam truck and you can hear the fans cheering while you're inside with that motor pumping and going, you know you did your job. So when you get out, I'm shaking, pump, and I'll go run in the stands. You know what I mean? I run in the stands, I take pictures of people, I do all that stuff. And I usually can't go to sleep that night, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning before you really come down off of that adrenaline rush. And that's what it is. It's like it's a sickness is what it is.
Yeah.
Once you get a taste of it, you don't want to let it go. So I haven't driven in a couple months. I've been off. So, I can watch these videos right now and I'm ready. I want to get back in the truck right now because you want to go out there and feel that you need that adrenaline rush. Like your body needs it.
But hey, tell me about what you guys are wearing in there, because is it full leathers? I know you got a helmet on. The ultimate question I want to ask you is, with that loud ass engine, and just man, y'all run straight headers,
yes.
right? And there's open exhaust.
It's
so
running
loud.
mufflers now.
Okay, mufflers.
It's still basically like an open header. It just has a MagnaFlow, makes a little muffler. It is a little bit quieter, but yeah, it's still.
But it's loud as heck, is what I'm saying.
Yes, yes.
So in there with all your gear on, you can still hear that crowd.
You can still hear the crowd. When you do something crazy, if you get a good save in or a good two-wheel like that, you can hear them without a doubt. And it's just the whole place will go insane. I think I told the story yesterday that I did the Staples Center for the first time last year. First time Monster Jam's been in there. We did 5 shows. And that was probably one of the loudest crowds I've heard ever. You could go out there. And it makes you go out there and run hard. Like you pushing it to the limit, you know what I mean? Where you're getting ready to really just mess up. And then you get a good save or something in, and it is just the whole place. It's like, they're going to tear it down.
Hey, when you go out there and all of a sudden you got the floor to yourself, okay, let's say, where y'all run in L.A.? Staples?
Yeah, Staples Center.
Okay.
Both. We do both.
Okay, so you're out there in a big ass arena is my point. You go out there. Now, do you have a complete game plan that of, hey, man, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm going to do 3 things over here, and I'm going to do this, the front end thing? Or is it all just make up on the fly? It'd almost be like setting up a match and following it, or calling it in the ring and changing things up. How do you operate out there? And does the crowd dictate that?
Yeah, the crowd doesn't dictate it. When I go out there for my run, like I'll set up my 2-wheel skills runs. I'll know what I'm going to do, what my first hit's going to be, what my second hit's going to be, because you get 3 hits in 2-wheel skills. It's a competition. Freestyle, I'll pick the first jump. That's it. Whatever happens after that happens, because you never know which way the truck's going to bounce or land, so you can't predict where you're going. You can try all you want. As soon as you start trying to tell yourself, all right, I'm hitting this next, you're going to lose focus, and then your run's going to go to crap.
This is the Steve Austin Show.
Do you own a home or condo? Or perhaps you rent a house or apartment? Sure you do. And Geico knows it can be hard work. Because whether you own or rent, you still have to fill it full of your stuff. Your furniture, the flat screen, and all the boxes of stuff that have been sitting there ever since you moved in, but haven't unpacked. It's hard to find the time, right? But you know what's easy? Bundling policies with Geico. Geico makes it easy to bundle your homeowner's or renter's insurance along with your auto policy. That way, you'll rest easy knowing that your home and all your stuff is protected. Like the furniture and that flat screen. Plus, getting a quote on homeowners and renters insurance is super easy through Geico. It's a good thing, too, because you already have so much to do around your home. You know, like going through all those boxes of stuff. Visit geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. It's Geico easy. Visit geico.com today. That's geico.com.
This is the Steve Austin Show.
Hey, man, take me inside the cabin of a monster truck while you're in there. Okay, we've got the roar and the horsepower, the thrill, the adrenaline of that engine. You got the crowd noise. You're taking all that in. You have the task at hand. You're focused. But then all of a sudden, with probably 4-point harness, all the safety gear you've got on it. Y'all wearing a fire suit as well?
Yeah, fire suit, 5-point harness, or a 7-point, depending on what you like. We have this, you heard of Hans device?
Yes.
So we wear Hans device.
I was going to ask.
Yep.
So it's not too restrictive?
Yeah, you don't move. The only thing you can do is move your eyes this way or that way. We run our Hans, like, if you see NASCAR guys run their Hans, they run it loose, so you can take their helmet, and the Hans will be here, and you can go like that with their head. If you do that in our truck, you're gonna see stars because it slams, bang. So we run our Hans and helmet tight, so I can barely clip mine on, and then you have no movement at all inside the truck once the belt's strapped to it.
Dude, that's a challenge in and of itself. First of all, man, I'm claustrophobic. Yeah. Man, I just did a showdown. I went down and talked to Dale Jr., and I just got inside a NASCAR car, and I was in like this. And so if I had a fire retardant suit on, and then I had a helmet and a Hans device, Homie, don't play that. I ain't going to make it. So what are you thinking? Because you're lassoed in there. If something goes wrong, we'll get to the bumps and bruises in a minute. Okay, something goes wrong, and like Dale Jr. told me, fire, get out. What do? You just wait for the guys to come in with the fire extinguishers and say, hope everything's cool?
When you know you're heating up, you're out. Your instinct kicks in, the adrenaline's kicked in, you're out the truck before you know, unless you get caught up in there. But we have safety crew and tech guys that usually are, if the truck's rolling over, they're out there, they're running to you. But most of the time, if it's on fire or something happens like that, you're out before they're there. Because you don't,
right?
Transmission fire, anything like that, it gets really hot really quick and it happens fast. So, but yeah, I was gonna say, when you're in there, I get claustrophobic too. So, the first few times you're in there, it's a scary, dark place inside there. Because when you're outside, we're waiting in the tunnel because we do intros from outside and we load in the tunnel. So it's dark and you're in there. I'll have my crew chief get in and make sure my stuff's right. Because sometimes you forget. I'm upstairs doing post-show post-show interviews. We go in the stands and we do an interview every show before we kick off. So, everything's on time. We're on a 2-hour show. So you got to run down and then you're getting in, you're strapping in, and it's all on a hurry.
So you got a guy that'll kind of come and go through like a laundry list or a safety checklist of, hey, you got everything buckled in, a system?
I just have my crew guys say, hey, jump in here, make sure my belts are over my Hans, make sure I'm clipped in, and make sure there's no loose ends, and then he will get in and check, basically making sure that my shoulder harnesses are over my Hans, because if one's off, when you're jumping that truck, you say it's the left shoulder's coming out every time.
That ain't good.
Yeah, and it's miserable.
Yeah. It's a family-friendly podcast. There's a lot of other things it really is, but miserable is the word for the day.
It is.
Hey, when I know the suspensions are a lot better, but still, man, like you said, there's 12,000 pounds jumping in the air or sometimes slamming against something. Take me into, we can't really watch a bunch of them on your Instagram account, but take me through, like, what's bad, what's worse, what hurts. I mean, like.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know all of them. So,
okay, I mean, because like a body slam or a suplex, I mean,
yeah,
jumping off the top rope and landing on your back, a missile drop kick, that ain't happening. Almost everything you do inside a ring can hurt, but what hurts out there in that monster truck?
All right, anytime you cage the truck, so say, perfect example, I was in World Finals doing this big 2-wheel deal, and I was going to jump from one jump to the next, cradle it, and go to 2 wheels.
What do you mean cradle it?
So when I say cradle it, the monster truck's got a cradle in it because it's 4-link.
Yep.
And you just take and basically are jumping the truck half on the dirt and hitting the chassis.
Gotcha.
So what it does, it'll roll up and then go up on the nose. So
Copy.
I did that. I went too fast. So what it did was it went right to the nose and slammed right on the roof and then went over front flips.
Oh.
And then I know my eyes were crossed for a good 5 minutes after that. So those hurt.
Yeah.
Anytime you jump and your front dives in and the back slaps.
Yep.
It's like somebody hit you in the back of the head so hard your eyes fell out of your head. So those hurt. Anytime that you can dive in on a corner, it's not so bad. So, and it doesn't always happen that way. It's abrupt and, but the safety gears come so far. Like I got a custom built Butler seat in my truck, side restraints, head restraints. You don't move, you got to be tough for sure. You can take it, but some of them, like I said, doing the cage stuff and that, you don't want to do that more than once in a weekend. I can tell you that. Yeah,
but man, what about when it's hotter than blazes out there? I mean, dude, y'all got any kind of ventilation? I know NASCAR guys sometimes when they run a vent hose out the top, but yeah. I would imagine that in a hot way, if
they do. I don't. I just sweat it out. That's an extra thing I got to hook up. Which some people do. They still run the fresh air system in their helmet. Some of the guys got cool suits. They got the cold water running through it. I just
You're old school.
Yeah, I just take it. It is what it is.
That's like in black trunks, and no knee pads, and go out there and give it hell.
Yeah, sometimes old school's better, man. I'm kind of like old. I like it that way.
Here's a question for you: what is the like? How How free are you to go out there and just do whatever the heck you want? I mean, with respect to that truck, because on the circuit that I was taking part of, and I think this might have been before Monster Jam, or Monster Jam may have existed. It just was a smaller league. But when I was in the Austin 316 truck, you know, some of those guys, you know, on a budget, you know, they just couldn't afford to go out there and, you know, tear everything up.
Yeah.
But then sometimes, you know, a promotion might say, hey, man, here's extra, here's a bonus if, you know, it costs something to happen. So my question is, how free are you to go out there and just go hog wild with that equipment?
Yeah, I got a green light to go. Like, I haven't been told too many times hey, we're going to need you to back it down or this or that. Then that's what separates us from everybody else.
Well, I mean, the Gravedigger is expected to perform well wherever it goes under any circumstances. It's a standard.
It is, yeah. And people want to see it. People know that's what it's about.
Gravedigger always puts it on the line.
Black and green wrecking machine. That's why we call it that.
Gotcha.
Everybody knows it, you know, and they want to see it. That's what it's known for. They know that thing's going to get ready to come out here. And it's a chance it's going to crash, roll over, go back on its wheels, break something off, catch on fire. It doesn't matter. They want to see it. And you got to be willing to take the chance to go out there and perform. That's what you know. Some
of those ones when a guy that's some of the craziest saves in the world, and like parts and everything are falling off, but then the guy just keeps making a run, and basically, I mean, it's just shredded. But the crowd will come up just because he's torn up so much stuff, but he's maintained. He just kept going. It's like that's that win at all cost attitude, that go for broke part. And, you know, they've committed.
Yeah.
And that really leaves an impression on the crowd.
Yes, it does. And that's when the adrenaline kicks in for the driver. And when that thing, you get a good save like that and it comes back to the wheels, you know that the crowd's pumped. You can hear the crowd and you're in there pumped too. So you're going until they shut you off. You know what I mean? Until the truck won't go no more or they shut you off. It doesn't matter. You're still going to perform. If the truck's still running, we go. And there's nothing more satisfying than being able to have a run like that. It doesn't come every weekend, you know. If you can get a good run like that and get that crowd response, you know you've done your job. They're going to come back. They love it.
Hey, you guys are out there, and it's only glamorous for you guys for a very brief moment. Y'all are running a 2-hour show, give or take.
Yeah, it goes over sometimes. But 2 hour 15.
Yeah, but my point is, you've done your interviews, you sign autographs, and all of a sudden that truck comes to life, you perform. That's the glamorous part of it.
Yes.
Now let's get down to the nitty gritty of it, because that's the same way with the wrestling business. Everybody sees you out there and you're on TV, and that's when you turn into a big star.
Yeah.
Maybe not. But then there comes life on the road. How is life on the road as a monster truck driver?
It's, so when I first started, that's all I knew. I didn't care. We'd roll into a hotel. We would do what we do, go out a lot, hang out. We had all the guys there. We all were on the road then. Even the drivers were on the road. You know, it was a big hangout time. It was fun. We were away from home. We were on the road. We were in all these cities, traveling on company dime, going to see all these cool things, and it was fun. 4 or 5 years of it, you start slowing down. You know, you're working so much. You're working so hard. You start getting up slower. You know, tired of being on the road, you know, the family, you know, my kids and stuff, or wondering when you're coming home. But, you know, you don't have a choice at that point. That's how I make my money, you know. That's where I make my living, and I got to do it. Because being at home, trying to find a job at home that's going to pay you and, you know, take care of your family is few far in between where I'm at.
Man, I tell you what, I always enjoyed life on the road. And speaking for myself, you know, sometimes I ran into the excessive side of partying.
Yes, yeah.
And man, those days, man, they kind of start running into the gray area, and they're just living in a gray area. And the highlight of your day or the highlight of your night, if it's your dog, if you're dead dog tired or something's wrong or someone got sick back in the house, hey man, my chance to go in the ring was when the bright spot of my day.
Yeah.
But man, life on the road, and it's like, are you guys? You know, a couple of beers here, some whiskeys there, life on the road. It's the guys, right?
Yeah.
With you guys, or in our business of wrestling, there was always guys, we call them ribbers, practical jokes, you know, trying to create some levity. Does that exist out there with you guys? Because when you get a bunch of like-minded people, you guys are all kind of wired the same. Because if you're wired to be in the pro wrestling business or a monster truck driver, you're looking for a little bit of
it's the same screw loose.
Yeah. So what do you guys do to rib each other? Because back in the day, I mean, like if we were working at like a high school auditorium, all the lockers.
Yeah.
Well, some of those combination locks are open. The old spin kind.
Yes.
And so, man, a lot of times guys would get those, and they'd put them through all of your belt loops on your pants, and then lock it. So when someone has done that to your pants, you ain't,
you're not getting,
unless you cut all those belt loops, or someone's got a bolt cutter. Ain't nobody got a bolt cutter. Or here's another, like I'm wearing jeans right now, just to tie one knot in the leg of a jeans and get another guy on the end.
You're done.
You ain't gonna get that dang jeans leg open anytime soon. Or the old, every now and then Icy Hot in some of his drawers. That's kind of getting on the serious side. But lighthearted stuff. What do you guys do to mess with each other?
All kinds of stuff. Nobody likes to be around me because I'm like the pranker. They know they don't want
that guy.
They don't want to. Yes, they don't want to room with me. They don't want to do nothing. So, like all the new kids coming in the business when I was crewing and stuff like that, they're like, "Hey, look, you watch out for him." You know what I mean? They're already giving them heads up, so they don't even want to talk to me. They don't want to room with me, and just pulling pranks, little stuff, baby powder here, or sometimes.
What do y'all do with the baby powder?
Put it up. I mean, a lot of times, so you could put it in. Say somebody's driving your truck, you got a buddy driving the truck. If you put it up in the headpan between the body and the roof, they'll take off or hit the brakes, and the thing will go poof, and it'll just blow a big cloud of baby powder out. It's all kinds of things, man. Messing with people's drink, messing with people's food. I mean, it's bad. It gets bad.
Hey, boy, I tell you what, those are fighting.
Yeah, it's horrible. I've had.
Man, because I've seen guys, and here's the way guys were so merciless back in the day. Man, if someone sends you a drink from across the bar and you didn't see that thing arrive, I won't drink it.
Don't touch it.
Now, if someone sends me, same thing with a long neck. If they send me a long neck, now, if the cap is on it and it hadn't been popped, I'll drink it. But if it's an open long neck, I won't drink it because I don't know what somebody's done with that.
And I've had that happen to me before. Hey, here's this drink, drink it. Next thing I know, I don't know what's going on, where I'm at. You know what I mean? It's not.
Dude,
that's nothing to play with.
No, that's a fighting rib.
Yeah,
and that's when
I'm not staying doing something like that. We're just
I know. We're talking the fun stuff.
Salt shaker is the best thing. You be out of the restaurant, take the cap off, and they go to pour it down.
Man, I ain't heard the salt shaker routine in a moon. About a year and a half ago, I was at one of them chain restaurants, and I reached over and grabbed that salt, and someone had just set it up. Or maybe the waiter or someone had filled it up and they didn't put it back on. But whoever it did, they ripped the hell out of me. Yeah, I got a dose of salt that I damn sure didn't need on my food. I was like, oh, you kidding me? Hey, man, I like to put in another order.
Yeah, I was the king of being able to get in any room in the hotel. Like, I could go downstairs and I could talk them into giving me a key to somebody's room. I don't know how they would just do
but let me ask you a question, because you said you was from North Carolina, and you are, and you said at first you kind of didn't have the gift of gab. Man, almost everybody I know from North Carolina is like a natural born storyteller, so maybe you was nervous a little bit, but it seems like if you can talk your way in anybody's room, and you ain't had no problem talking to me, and we hit it off from day one when we met the other day, but I mean, it seemed like North Carolina is full of good BSers, as is Texas.
Yeah, for sure. It wasn't that I could always naturally bullshit and do whatever, but when it came down to when they put this microphone in your face and they shoved that camera on you, you were like,
gotcha.
Freeze real quick. You're not used to it. You're not used to being on that side of things. I was in the mechanic side of it. I was in the back. I was behind the scenes kind of. And they started doing a little bit more with crew guys and stuff, putting them on camera because they kind of want, fill-in time and some downtime, talk about the trucks as a lot of people are interested in it. So
absolutely.
I got a little bit there. I just never did a lot of it.
Yeah, but to your point, man, when you're just coming off being part of the crew and then all of a sudden now you're the voice of the truck. Yeah. And someone sticks that microphone in your face and it's like, man, who am I? What's my persona?
Yeah.
So or to identify with the Gravedigger brand or that particular, monster truck or find your voice.
And that's what it was. Like being a part of the Gravedigger team and doing this, like I found my calling in what I'm doing. So I could talk about everything about that Gravedigger truck and hype the fan up. I always say, like, I have punchlines that I do all the time that I made up because I wanted to be different from everybody else. So I'll
So
tell
you got
them,
catchphrases?
yeah, like I'm gonna drive this truck in the ground, 1 foot on the gas, 1 in the grave. For each and every one of you fans in the stands, we're gonna go out here and we're gonna tear this truck up. And then I always hashtag, can you dig it?
Yeah.
That was my deal. I make bracelets with my IG name on there, and I put "Can you dig it" on. So when I go up in pre-show,
With reference to Gravedigger, can you dig it? Right?
yeah,
Gotcha.
all reference to
Because
what
Booker
I'm
T
doing.
used to go, now can you dig that,
Yes.
sucker?
Yeah.
But can you dig it applies to Gravedigger.
Yeah, like digging. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're getting ready to go out there and dig. So can
Perfect.
you dig it? And then it just worked, and everybody liked it. So I make bracelets, the rubber band bracelets. Put "Can you dig it" on it, and then put my IG on it, and I hand them out to all the fans when we go do pre-show.
Good idea.
Just
You just
giving
gave
it
me an
out.
idea.
Yeah, and it's cool. You can put your Instagram handle on there, Twitter, whatever, and throw them out, because you can get, I think I was getting 1,000 of them made for $100 some. I was doing it myself, but it helps out.
Well, it does. It helps out. It helps you, bond with the crowd. And anytime you're in show business, you're trying to bond with that crowd. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, especially in our business of wrestling, you're trying to make them love you or hate you. But obviously, in a monster truck, I mean, you want to be loved. You want people to pay money to come see you.
Sure. You want to get a little bit extra.
But it's like forming that bond. So if you can go above and beyond on your own dime just to further your cause, I mean, that's a wise investment. Yeah. You ain't out there selling them. And selling them's one thing, but just, hey, man, here's
give
some
them out,
appreciation.
man.
Here's some love.
Yep. Here you go.
Yeah. Thanks for the
you
support.
guys. If you want to follow me, here you go. Here's a bracelet. You guys can wear it. And they love it, man. I hand them out almost every weekend.
Here's one for you. Switching gears, what's the life expectancy or of a career of a monster truck person, at driving? Because, man, back in the day, those guys were getting beat to shreds, especially because they were just, I drove one. I just had like a 4-point on.
Yeah, you know the deal.
And I had a helmet, and I mean, it was rugged, and I wasn't doing nothing. I was just driving the thing.
I seen your truck. I'm a gearhead at heart. As far as your seat and stuff in there, when I look at it, the 316 truck, you didn't have any head restraints. You didn't have nothing. It was a bare seat.
Yep.
So that takes a lot of toll on you too. Like Dennis did it forever.
How's he feeling now?
He keeps rolling every day. You have your days, but at the end of the day, you can't lay up and just get old.
Well, how long do you want to do it? Let's
I want to do it as long as I can, as long as they'll let me, the company wise, and as long as I can still get in the truck and go. I want to do it. I know I can at least go 15 years right now.
Good.
So this will be my 3rd season, and I'd be happy with that. I'd be happy with 10.
How's the sport growing?
It's growing every single day. It's something new every day. Monster Jam is on top of the world right now. It's unbelievable what all is in the works. Just take it for example, this Kawasaki deal.
Yeah.
Like, I heard about this last week.
Hey, well, let's talk about the Kawasaki deal, because like right now I'm in Palm Desert, Palm Springs, whatever, and it's every couple of years there's a big dealers convention, because I'm a brand ambassador. I come down here and I check out all the latest, greatest stuff, and I represent the side-by-side division. Well, this year Kawasaki came out with a brand new side-by-side, and it's a side-by-side everybody has been waiting for if you're a Kawasaki fan, because it's their new high-performance side-by-side model, which I have a Kawasaki Teryx, and forever that was compared with the Razor and the X3 and stuff like that, but it didn't really belong there. It was just kind of that middle of the road.
It was more of a
trail, and I love that thing, but it's bulletproof, but it's not into the high-speed stuff. Now, here comes the KRX. It's the Teryx KRX 1000, and we got a chance to go out there and drive it. So how'd you get lumped into this?
I came out. They asked me to come out to set the truck up and do the display deal, and then when I got out here, I was, talking to Glenn and stuff like that, and kind of told him what I did, and they put me in a side-by-side with you guys. So I was kind of just luck of the draw, really, to come out here and be a part of this.
Oh, man, that's cool, because, man, as I saw you, I said, hey, man, well, they must be kind of like experimenting with seeing what the monster truck guy's opinion is of this unit. I mean, totally different, genres or things, but nonetheless, four-wheel drive, horsepower and adrenaline.
Yeah.
So, how did you enjoy your experience out here, and how did you enjoy the new Teryx KRX 1000?
Yeah, the experience has been great out here. Not knowing what I was getting into coming out here, and then being able to be a part of Monster Jam and do this Kawasaki body on this Monster Jam truck and have everybody love it. That's with Kawasaki, because this is a big deal out here. I mean,
it is.
There's people everywhere, corporate people. I mean, I want to say the president was here as well. Yeah, it's been great. It's been cool, and the machine is awesome. Like, I was happy that I got to ride it, and I was happy that I got to give some feedback, even though I wasn't really supposed to be out here doing that.
No, but it's interesting to hear
cool.
feedback from a guy like you.
Yeah.
I love riding and driving, and I've been doing this for quite some time, and I've been riding four-wheelers and side-by-sides my entire life. I don't speak the language. I don't know the technical lingo. Like when Jeremy McGrath, who's also ambassador, Mr. Supercross, greatest of all time, when he gives his feedback, it means something.
It means something.
And to watch those badass videos that they made of those two guys that were the drivers in that video, which is premier. I mean, those guys could drive their butts off. So I ain't got no feedback, mister. I don't speak no technical language, but hey, I'll just say this. You was behind me, and I was behind the lead dog, Kawasaki. I'll just say I might have veered off course.
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah, when you went off course, I was the only one that was like, I was legitimately like happy. Like it was cool, I knew you your adrenaline rush. Like I knew what it was going to do to you. Like I know the feeling, so I was happy. I was pumped for you.
Well, god dang, man, I had my riding partner in there, but because he was already part of Kawasaki, he wasn't going to drive because most of the time, everybody you riding with the partner and then you'd swap and the other person would drive. Well, I was riding the whole time, so I started getting a little bit full of myself and I was showing off. Yeah. And so I veered off course just a little bit, driver error. Yeah. But I said, hey man, I've never been accused of not being able to push the envelope of being dumb.
Yeah. That's a good thing, man, to have that. A lot of people are scared. Like, if I'm getting in something like that, we're going to push to the limits. That's why we're out there, right? That's why.
Yeah.
And we did. I had a blast. I stayed in two-wheel drive most of the time, and we were whipping around. And
I got two more truck questions for you.
Okay.
I want to ask you, because I want to talk about my good friend Deborah Michelli.
Okay.
Madusa Michelli. Yeah. Alundra Blayze, Hall of Famer.
Deuce.
She's a badass, Deuce. And so, but let's talk about, I want you to real quick, give me the engine setup, horsepower, because you said 1500, but what's the motor?
Yeah, the motor's, it's a Merlin block, world heads. It's, aluminum pistons, aluminum rods. It's, 540 cubic inch, and it's based off of Chevrolet Fine Order. 12-amp mag, MSD mag, 871 little fluid blower on it, about 8-9 pounds of boost, injected. And they rip, man. They're really reliable. Anytime you can take and run a motor upside down like that and keep going, have 27 to 40 hours on it, have it in the truck for a year. So, the motor guys are doing their job and doing a good job at building them for us. So.
Hey, man, what does a motor like that cost?
It's a complete brand new one's $50,000. And 54 trucks. Every truck has a motor, then every truck has a spare. So that's quite a few dollars.
That's
just in the motor, just in the power plant. A whole rear end setup is $24,000 just for the front and rear end. That's complete, but everything on them it's all heavy duty and big, and it costs money. So you'll be in one for about $250K.
Man, I was down in South Texas one time, and I think it was down on the radar, McAllen somewhere. And I was going out there, and Calvin was smarting me up on this thing, but he just told me to go a certain speed and didn't really smart me up on the shifting. And dude, and this was stupid because I'm a gearhead. Well, at least I like to go fast. I'm not a gearhead because I don't understand the mechanics of the things.
Yeah,
I can't work on nothing. But anyway, I went out there and I from first to second, and then he just, really kind of just stay out of thirds. I stayed out third, but I stayed on the throttle. Wham! Threw a rod, blew up the motor.
Yeah. And
that was the 316 truck. And they had the rock truck. It was a gold one, but it had a lesser powered engine in it. And there was another truck. And then, but I had blown up the engine of the truck that everybody came to see. And so I was like, oh my God. Talking about when I felt bad when I went off the course.
Sick.
When you blow a motor and it ain't you work for those people. You'd probably feel bad if you did it too. But when you're just showing up to do an appearance and I blow up a guy's monster truck, dude, I felt like a turd.
It's, so you had to have been probably running on the chip. And that's what happens if you leave them in first gear and take off and run them like that.
Yep.
It'll kick a rod right through the oil pan. That's probably what it did, or kicked it through the block or something.
Calvin wasn't happy.
Yeah, I bet.
Hey, and here's a very sad and tragic thing. Calvin, those guys in Rev were all real cool to me back in my monster truck days, and just making appearances. And then at an event one time, and Calvin was a veteran. He was one of the OGs.
Yeah.
And man, a big wheel big tire blew off, and it would just lost his life there in the arena, and it was, or they life flighted him, but it just wasn't
sad,
good.
man.
He's no longer with us, and he was such a cool guy to me. So you never know, man. The dangest things can happen, man. Just down there in that arena. I mean, it's extremely dangerous. When you get the horsepower, the poundage, the speed, the velocity, the impact, everything goes with it. I mean, dude, even if something come through the floorboard, for you guys,
so
I mean, anything can happen.
Yes. What we do now is safety's key for us. Like, we don't do anything without being safe. Everything is tethered. The tire is tethered. If it breaks, it doesn't fall off. It stays with the truck. If the drive shaft breaks, it stays with the truck. Sway bars, anything that can fly off is tethered and will not move. We don't want any incidents of anything going in the crowd. And on top of that, like our tech staff, every truck gets safety teched every single time we run. Checks for belts, checks for nuts and bolts loose on the truck, as well as the crew guys, and fire extinguisher systems. And then we have RIIs inside the truck. So
what's that?
It's a remote interrupter. And what it does is, when we're inside of a building, there might be 10 people with an RI. So I'll run on left channel or a right channel. If anything gets crazy, or I get knocked out, or the throttle hangs, they can cut me off at any time.
They basically kill the truck.
Yep, the truck's dead. Yep, right there, wherever they hit a button, it's on. It looks like a handheld walkie-talkie. It's bloop, and then it's done. And that is like a lifesaver right there. You know, to have that on top of all the other safety things.
Well, I didn't know that everything was tethered down, because, I mean, back in the day, I mean, even from, high-speed, auto racing, that stuff continues to happen. But the monster truck thing, man, you like you said, I mean, a wheel bouncing, and it's happened, it can happen. Into the crowd, you talking about devastation,
740 pounds.
Coming at you.
Yep.
And that is no pun intended, that's a monster-ass tire.
Yeah.
So the safety thing is so cool, just because, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to ask you about my buddy Deuce.
Yep.
Because, man, she was a professional wrestler, and man, all the guys respected Deuce, because she would lay it down, man. I mean, like strong style in the ring. I mean, take care of you, but I mean, Deuce was tough.
Putting it down.
And she'd go to Japan. I mean, Japan is stiff. I mean, it's strong style. Because all the boys, I mean, she could work her ass off, but she was tough. We considered her one of the guys.
Yeah, for sure.
So high respect. And then all of a sudden, I find out that she's driving monster trucks.
Yeah.
And she could drive her ass off.
She's a world champion.
Yeah.
World championship.
So, I mean, did you run across Deuce in any of your experiences?
I've raced, or I was in the business while she was in the business. She was in, before I was. She was already driving, but she was around. So, like you said, she's one of the guys. When you go out and, you put a female inside a monster truck, they got to be tough. Because, you have to be tough to get in. So, for her to go out there and run with the boys and, hang tough and do her deal. She's out there freestyling, back flipping, just throwing it down, being one of the guys out on the track, and she did a good job of it.
Yeah, she's wired, but, wired like, to do that kind of stuff. And, when she came out of business of pro wrestling, she'd been in it for quite some time, so your body takes a pounding in that line of work, and then you get into another line of work that, at first glance you think, well, it's a monster truck. And, okay, that's... Well, when you start, like we said, dissecting it and breaking it down, it can beat the hell out of you.
Yeah.
So she's a tough ass woman, but universal respect from the monster crowd people, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Universal respect from the monster truck people, right?
Yep. Much respect to her. She was doing this when, they were running in beard seats and no restraints, no head restraints and stuff like that. So she was doing it right there alongside of Dennis and Tom and everybody, all the old school people. So she's a legend as well, you know what I mean? To be able to go from doing that, being a world champion, beating all the boys, and then, coming to where it evolved, started getting better, and she was still in the sport. So much respect to her, man. It's awesome that a female came in, and I guess a male-dominated sport, probably the same as wrestling at that time, and throws it down. So that's cool. So you have to respect somebody like that.
Man, we're going to wrap this podcast up. We're sitting in my Yukon Denali XL. We're in a parking garage. It's 100 degrees outside, and we've got the windows rolled up. The car's not running. We're sweating our asses off. And I'm like, I'm going to have a heat stroke here. I'm sitting in the pool of water. But before we go, thank you for giving me an hour of your day. I know I'm going to see you in a couple more days before you leave, but being on a podcast, I've always been such a fan of the monster truck stuff. stuff, and now to see, Monster Jam continues to get bigger and better, and all the bookings and all the success, and for you to be a part of the Gravedigger franchise is truly, obviously, for you an honor, and you're representing well. Is there anything that you'd like to plug or promote as far as your Instagram or where people can find the Gravedigger or Monster Jam?
For sure, yeah. You guys want to follow me, Brandon Vinson, driver of Gravedigger, is Brandon Vinson GD on Instagram. You can follow me on Facebook. But come out, man. Monster Jam is on top of the world right now. If you guys see Monster Jam shows, go to them. If you've never been, you got to go. It's a family show. You'll love it. You'll be ecstatic when you leave there, man. I can promise you, you'll have smiles on your face and you'll come back. So check it out. It's cool. For everybody that's been, we're coming 2020. We're coming to a city near you. Check us out. It's going to be an unbelievable year. A lot of new stuff coming along. And we got a big tour mix up, a lot of new people on tours. It's going to be epic. So everybody come check it out. And part of the things, it's been a long time since I've been to a supercross or motocross race, but when you leave there, it's like leaving a monster truck event. Man, when you get home, man, that exhaust note is ringing in your ears. So it's a feeling, it's a good feeling that lasts with you in a good way. So I enjoy the adrenaline, the testosterone, everything that goes with the excitement, the skill of the drivers, and guys working so hard to put on a really entertaining show. And it's hard to get people, and anything these days, there's so many different things to do or stream or whatever. Going to a live event is the way to see it. So, man, best of luck to you. Thank you. Been following the Gravedigger for a long time. It's been great to meet you here at Kawasaki out here driving the KRX 1000. And hell, man, safe travels. When you come back to to LA, I told you got my phone number. Yep. Let me know, and I will be there. Okay, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on your show. And it's been a sweat box, but we're having a good time. Hey, you're gonna leave here with a bunch of stories. Yeah, and sure. I ain't lied to you. I was about half hung over when I got up this morning. So, but that's a whole nother story we'll talk about here in a minute. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Brandon. All right, thank you. All right, let's get big ups to Geico for being a loyal sponsor of the Steve Austin Show. Go to geico.com, and in 15 minutes, you can be saving 15% or more on car insurance. That's right. Save hundreds of dollars on car insurance at geico.com. Extra money in your pocket? It may just be the most rewarding thing you do today. All right, everybody, give me the go-home cue. It's time to wrap up this podcast and ride off in the sunset. Before I do that, I want to thank my guest, Brandon Vinson, today. He drives the Gravedigger truck, one of the Gravedigger trucks. He's part of the Monster Jam circuit that they go all over the world. And I love going to these shows. And when he comes down to Los Angeles here, and I think in a couple of months, I will be there to cheer him on and watch all of these badass trucks put on one hell of a show. So good talking to you, Brandon. I look forward to seeing you again. And it was cool seeing you out here at a Kawasaki event. Hey, don't forget to rate and review the Steve Austin Show on Apple Podcasts and tell your friends to check us out. If you want to reach me here on the podcast, send an email to questions@steveaustinshow.com. Hey, I got an IPA out there. We just got out to the East Coast. We are in Massachusetts, New York, and New Jersey. Check the El Segundo Brewing Company website for details and find out where there is a store near you where you can try out America's favorite IPA. ElSegundoBrewing.com.
This has been a Podcast One production. Download new episodes of The Steve Austin Show every Tuesday at PodcastOne.com. That's PodcastOne.com.
Saddle up and get ready for Westerns Weeks on Pluto TV, all for free. We're coming in blazing with favorites like True Grit and Once Upon a Time in Mexico. Or immerse yourself in binge-worthy series like Yellowstone and Walker, Texas Ranger. Plus, Pluto TV has hundreds of channels with thousands more movies, TV shows, and more. The best part? It's free. No credit card, no sign-up, no fees. Download the Pluto TV app on all your favorite devices and start streaming now.
Do you own a home or condo? Or perhaps you rent a house or apartment? Sure you do. And Geico knows it can be hard work. Because whether you own or rent, you still have to fill it full of your stuff. Your furniture, the flat screen, and all the boxes of stuff that have been sitting there ever since you moved in, but haven't unpacked. It's hard to find the time, right? But you know what's easy? Bundling policies with Geico. Geico makes it easy to bundle your homeowner's or renter's insurance along with your auto policy. That way, you'll rest easy knowing that your home and all your stuff is protected. Like the furniture and that flat screen. Plus, getting a quote on homeowners and renters insurance is super easy through Geico. It's a good thing, too, because you already have so much to do around your home. You know, like going through all those boxes of stuff. Visit geico.com, Get a quote and see how much you could save. It's Geico Easy. Visit geico.com today. That's geico.com.
I'm Martin Cove, Sensei John Kreese from Cobra Kai and the Karate Kid trilogy. And who's kicking it with the Coves this week, Rach?
We have Jacob Bertrand, who plays Hawk from Cobra Kai. I'm so excited.
You know, my dad's a doctor, so he has to, wear the scrubs and the special hat and all that crap. And so he found out that I was getting a mohawk. He was like, dude, I'm so jealous. I wish I could have a mohawk at my job. Oh, God, you're so lucky.
Don't miss out. Listen to and follow Kicking It with the Coves, now at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and PodcastOne.